Lately, I've been having a discussion with my friend Volvo Christian about the Volvo EX30 versus the Zeekr X. These two cars are closely related, built on the same platform, and in today's video, I thought I would explore the similarities, the differences, and then at the end of the video give you guys my opinion on which car I would actually buy with my own money, which car I prefer, without having driven any of them, but I've actually seen the Volvo EX30 in person. I went to the launch in Italy in June, so I'm going to link that video in the description box down below for you guys who are interested in checking that car out in detail. And also another thing before we set off and talk about today's topic, me and Volvo Christian have started to think about starting a weekly podcast about electric cars, maybe throw in a few hybrids and other stuff. So let me know in the comment section down below if you are interested in a weekly podcast with me and Volvo Christian. As I said in the intro, both of these two cars are closely related, and that is because they are both built on Geely Group's SEA platform, a full electric dedicated platform, and that is because both Zeekr and Volvo are owned by the Chinese automaker Geely, but they are run as separate companies in separate countries, where Zeekrs are developed and designed in China, Volvos are developed and designed in Sweden. So completely different engineering teams and brand philosophy. So there is no interference between these two brands as from what we know of information. But they're built on the same platform, so there's going to be a lot of component sharing, though the exterior and interior designs are completely different. There are a few similarities, but mostly completely different designs. And when it comes to the exterior dimensions of these two cars, they're quite similar actually, both height and width, but there's a difference in length where the Volvo is 20 centimeters shorter than the Zeekr X, with also a 10 centimeters shorter wheelbase. And we're gonna get back to that when it comes to the interior, but that is something to note, is that the Zeekr X is basically the size of a Volvo XC40 when it comes to the exterior length. Because both cars are built on the same platform, they're going to share a lot of the components underneath the skin, like electric motors and battery packs and stuff like that. So both cars come with two very similar versions, with the big battery pack and rear wheel drive, and the big battery pack and all wheel drive. As you guys can see from the numbers, both of those versions in these two cars are almost identical when it comes to performance, charging, and range. There is one difference though, is that the Volvo can be had with a single motor standard range with an even smaller battery pack and a lower entry price. Also over the board, the entry price for the Volvo EX30 is lower as a starting price, but once you start optioning up the cars, if you tick off all the boxes on the Volvo, it's actually a little bit more expensive than the equivalent version of that Zeekr X. Before we talk about the exterior and the interior of these two cars and how they are different and similar, I just want to give a huge thanks to today's video sponsor, MITTDEKKHOTELL. MITTDEKKHOTELL is a company that stores your tires winter or summer and will change them between seasons. It's a really nice concept that we here in Northern Europe and especially in Norway are used to, especially if you live in a place where you don't have a lot of storage. I actually don't have storage for my winter tires or my summer tires, and that's why I use a company like this. They will insure your wheels, they will wash them and inspect your wheels and tires for every time they are going to change them to make sure that everything is a-okay and top. And also, if you need new tires or new wheels, they will give you a very good price. So again, a huge thanks to MITTDEKKHOTELL for sponsoring today's video. When it comes to the exterior, I think this is where we're going to see the biggest differences between these two cars, not only in styling, but in size. That Volvo EX30 is 20 centimeters shorter than a Zeekr X, and that is a lot. That's a lot for being a small car already, making the EX30 a whole class vehicle smaller than that Zeekr X. The EX30 is about the same size as a Volkswagen ID.3, making it a sub-compact car, where that Zeekr X, as I said, lengthwise, it's about the same size as a Volvo XC40, making it a compact car. So exterior dimensions, very, very different. And also the design language is very, very different, where that Volvo carries that brand new Volvo design language that we first saw in the EX90, that clean, stylish, minimalistic. I think it's going to age very well. It's a very modern, sleek design. I like it a lot. I think it looks awesome, where that Zeekr X is a lot more edgy and out there. I have to say personally, I'm not a fan of the way that Zeekr X looks in photos or in videos. Maybe when I see that car in person when the Zeekr brand comes to Norway next year, I'm gonna like it a whole lot more. But from what I can see in photos and in videos, I think the Volvo EX30 is a much cleaner, much better looking design. On the inside, there's also quite a big difference between these two cars. They're similar in the way that they're both minimalistic and simplistic, and the overall layout and design is similar. I think they're more similar underneath than they are on the surface, because it seems like these are two completely different interiors. They both have a central screen, but where the Zeekr's screen is horizontal, the Volvo EX30 screen is vertical. And also the Zeekr X has a driver display where the Volvo does not. Also completely different design languages, and also it seems like that Zeekr X has nicer materials in the interior from videos and photos I've seen, and also more features. It seems like there are a lot of features like a fridge you can remove in that Zeekr X, which is kind of cool. And also rear seat room. I sat in the back of the EX30 and it's a quite tight vehicle. It's, you know, nothing worse than other vehicles its size, but this is where that longer wheelbase and longer overall length comes to the advantage of that Zeekr X, where from what I can see from videos and photos, the rear seat legroom is a lot bigger in that Zeekr X compared to the EX30. Without having driven any of these cars, it's really hard to tell you guys which I would choose and which is the better car for you. But once these are available for press here in Norway, I'm going to drive them here on the channel. So if you don't want to miss out on that, please be sure to subscribe down below. I really do appreciate it, so thank you very much. But with that being said, from what I do know, I think I would choose that Volvo just because of the way it looks on the exterior and on the interior. I've seen that car in person and I'm really impressed by the package at that price point. And I've owned a lot of Volvos and driven all of them, and I just like the way Volvos feel and drive down the road. You know, just because these two cars are built on the exact same platform and have the same electric motors and batteries doesn't mean they're going to drive similar or the same. A very good example of this is the MEB platform cars from Volkswagen Group, where you have everything from a Volkswagen ID3 up to a ID Buzz and an Audi Q4 e-tron, built on the exact same platform, same electric motors and same battery packs. But those three cars are completely different beasts to drive. I've driven all of them in the past few months here on the channel, and they couldn't be more different than each other, and that may be the case here. And I've driven a lot of Chinese cars lately, and they don't drive like Volvos or German cars down the road. There's just this sense of solidity and refinement in these European cars that you don't get in brands from other continents. That's just my experience. This may be different, but well, it may be the same. So guys, let me know down below, which car are you most excited about, the Volvo EX30 or that Zeekr X, and which one would you choose? So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below, and for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.